Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Blade project, and I need like a cool opening line. I always start off with like welcome back or something like that, and I just feel like I need like a cool intro now. This is like what, video 72, and realistically it's probably video 500 or something. Um, but Yeah, so I'm inside my house, as you can see, mainly because my garage is packed right now, and I have to pace when I do these videos. It just helps me think, and and my garage is jam packed because I was working on my wife's Explorer, changing out the disc brakes and stuff. So that was fun. Anyway, so yeah, so over the past, I guess, week or so, I've been doing a lot of buying, basically just getting some components for the dash piece and the center console, some suspension components, things that I can test with, because when I'm building this dash and doing the clay sculpting, I need to make sure that that everything fits the right way, and that I have exactly the right, piece that's going to go in the dash, and make sure that it fits, so that I don't really want to be like something that I like design an area for the piece to just generally fit in. I really want to be specific and really have all the right components laid out while I'm designing this dash, and make sure that that I can get these components and things, and that they'll be readily available later, and all that. So anyway, so that's kind of what I've been doing. So let me take you out to the garage and show you some stuff and all that. Man, that fish tank is loud. If you guys need any fish, right there's a big guy. I'm like pointing at him on my screen. Not you, that guy. He's like destroying my whole tank. He's like a foot long. It's a foot long suckerfish. Okay, so alright, so let me turn this around, and as you can see, my floor is just trashed in here. It's bananas. So mainly because I had to construct this stand. So if you're not following on Facebook, then you probably have no idea I took this out. If you look inside the car, it's all empty. So the dash is out, and God, it's cold out here. So I took the dash out and promptly dropped it, because I didn't really realize that it was going to weigh so much. This clay, although it's the lightest clay that I could get for this type of project, it's still pretty dang heavy. and I dropped it, and amazingly it survived. The only thing that happened was right there, that little crack. So not a big deal, because there's really nothing holding that. It's like the strongest point behind this clay is some foam. And so big deal. It's easy to fix. All I have to do is just basically make a V groove, and then heat it up with the heat gun, and then add some clay. So it kind of, what happens sometimes if you don't really rub the clay in really well and mix it up, and how do I say that? It kind of like, you really have to work it into itself. If you don't do that and blend it really well, then it basically delaminates. So it becomes layers, like a piece of plywood, and you can just flick up those layers if you don't do it right. So that's just an example of pretty much what happened right in this crack area, and then it just continued on, I guess. So this is the dash out of the car. I made this little stand for it. Oof, I don't fall and kill myself. And I'm gonna have to support the stand, because it's a little shaky. It's too shaky to work on. Once I start moving it, it just keeps bouncing. So like you can see, it's still wobbling. Yeah, okay. So here's the plan right now. I have some test gauges. So I have like this odometer. This won't be the exact gauge, but it'll be like a nice, like one of the ultralight autometer gauges. I really like those gauges. They're, you know, I can get them mechanical or electrical. They're just very accurate, good for racing and things like that. And I've designed it so that it will fit right into this hole, but it'll be back here, so it won't be just sticking out like that. It'll be recessed into the hole so that sunlight and stuff won't get to the gauge and block it out. And they're going to be a set of custom altimeter gauges that you can get directly from the company, and they'll have custom lighting and all kinds of stuff in it. but yeah, so I have that gauge. Then I'm trying to get some vents and figure out the vent situation. I don't really want to use these vents. I want some that block off. And so if you go to my Facebook page, I have like some pictures up where you basically, they're like this, about the same size, but when you turn it, it closes the vent off. When you turn it that way, it opens it back up, and then they're omnidirectional like this. So they're basically the similar type of vent that you would find inside an airplane or something. They're an aviation style AC vent. So I need to get those and get that fitted. I have to take this out, and I'm going to move it over. So this is going to be right up against this piece here, and then over here there's just enough room to get it in over here too. I may have to tweak it and do some kind of interesting blending, and then also I'll have another vent over here. So yeah, so there's been a lot of people that have been like, are you going to have any AC vents for the driver? And yes, I will. So I just haven't put them in yet because I'm just doing placement right now, and it's a lot of work to cut the holes out and then also to fill back in. So excuse me. So yeah, and like this area, I had this is where I had it cut, and it was basically separated. So now I'm kind of blending this in, making it strong, because I had this piece separate, and now I'm trying to merge it all together. So this is still very much non-developed because I'm waiting on the right components to put in here. And so this is where maybe you guys can help me out with some ideas. What I really want to do is put some type of screen. So I got a little seat here. All right, so this is the console. We'll be sitting like right here, and steering wheel, and you have your gauges like this. And then this area probably have some switches over here, little switches over here, maybe little idiot lights, things like that. And then this section, I'm trying to decide whether to go with the standard 7-inch by like 4-inch display. It's like a little sat nav, you know, so it's about, you know, it's over here to about like right here, and it's 4 inches tall or so. And it's a lot smaller than what I wanted to do. What I originally wanted to do is go with like a 10-inch or 10.1-inch Samsung touchscreen system, but I just worry about the availability of these touchscreens. They're changing every month, and I think it would be wiser to stick with something that that's going to be around longer and may not be so dependent on the whole unit. So if I do like a touchscreen or like a touchpad device, then I'm limited to the whole screen and the device and everything. And if I use just or install just a touch screen and have like a PC, like a special car PC behind it that's running everything, then those are separate components that can be replaced. I can put different OSs on it. I can experiment and custom program, and I'm not having to replace the whole unit or mess with a whole bunch of issues that may pop up, because it would be very proprietary basically. And so that's kind of the thing. So what I'm looking for is, they have a lot of really good 7-inch screens that are just like that's basically in every car today now, with the sat nav and engine management stuff on it and all that. And that's great, but what I'd really like to do is put a 10-inch screen in it, which basically would come out to fill up this whole area, just a bigger screen, because I'd like to have the gauges that are your normal, you know, like oil temperature and stuff like that, always displayed up at the top, and then have like engine management systems running down below, or like maybe your stereo stuff or whatever. And I even thought about maybe doing 2 7-inch screens stacked on top of each other, one showing all the gauge readouts and one for something else. But I'm not really sure how that's going to work on a car PC running dual monitor outputs and trying to split the information to 2 different monitors. I'm sure it can be done. I'm not real familiar with how to do that. So maybe you guys, I know there's a lot of people from the MP3 something website.com deal that check out the car and stuff. So maybe you guys have some ideas. I'm on that forum, but I haven't really asked any questions yet about that. So this whole area is going to be designed out quite a bit more, and I have a couple of ideas of what's going to run and the type of trim that's going to be going through this whole dash area. So this is really still just a rough general I don't know, layout right now, and this gauge pod is still, even it's still in question. I like it and I like where it's going, but there's a lot of shaping. I have like these sharp points on it, which I may get rid of the sharp points and combine it, or may just round it off. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what fits the car the best, because there's some design elements that are going to go next here that are going to be somewhat knife edge blade like, if you want to say. And I was thinking of making these match, so I just kind of roughly just squished a point onto this area to see what it would look like. But anyway, so that gives you an idea. And some of the other things that I have set up here that would be helpful for you guys trying to do this is I have these little stands, and it's just kind of, I'll end up bolting it to it, but it's like a little measuring thing. Got it at Home Depot. It's for I think measuring right angles on framing, like when you're framing a house or something and you need to make sure your 2x4s are straight. And what I did is I have these rulers that I got and happen to find, and have these little slide adjustments. So these little slides work real nice and clean, and they have a hole. So what I do is I shine a laser across through here, and it shines on that hole, and there's a little divot, and it tells me exactly where it's at. So what I can do is I can make sure as the laser shines through this clay that everything's lined up just great. Because when I shine a laser onto this clay, it's so dark that it kind of absorbs the laser light. You can still see it, but I have to like turn the lights down and stuff. But anyway, yeah, so that's about it. That was supposed to be a quick video. So yeah, what I'll do next time is I'll cover more when I get into some of the clay work again, and I hope to start working on some of that here soon. I'm going to do the repair to the cracked area, and there's a few little cracks, some hairline cracks I want to deal with, and then I'll start slapping some more clay onto it. But now it's out of the car, I can work on it, and I have the general, shape down, so I don't need it in the car at this time. And the bracket that I mounted and made for it is at exactly the same angle that it is in the car. So the way that I design it now is how it's going to look in the car. And that's basically it. I'll keep you guys posted, and so hopefully some more videos, and I'll try to get to the videos as quick as I can, get more posted. I'm trying to stay on top of that, but it's not as easy as I'd like it to be. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Later.